Yeah, hi, it's the 22nd of March 2018 around 10 a.m. Yesterday I was watching a little boy pushing a truck around on the lawn. Boy was, maybe two, could have been a little older perhaps, but it was a truck, fairly big truck for him, and he was pushing it around, making, truck sounds and what have you. And I got to thinking, imagine what would be going through that boy's mind if he heard his parents fighting and arguing. And I looked at it, such a pleasant little scene. I thought, yeah, how many parents do it? I thought, yeah, that's what my children listen to as well. My wife and I fighting and arguing. And I got to thinking, I looked at it, and I took I don't know how to describe the approach, but it was certainly not, I thought if I had my time over again, it just wouldn't happen. I wouldn't tolerate it. I wouldn't put up with it. I'd tell it, no, stop it. That'll do. Enough. I don't want to hear it. That's what I would do. It led me to think, what's important here, to me at least? What's important to me? And what am I gaining from mgtow? What am I getting out of it? I thought, well, for me, there are two ways of looking at it. I've got two options. It's either what I do or how I do it. That's what I'd boiled it down to. What's important to me? What I actually do or how I do things? I'll explain that a little in a moment. But I mean, for example, whether I associate with women or not, if I do this or do that, is that what's important here? Or is how I do it and my attitude about it when I'm doing it? Is that what's important to me? I came to the conclusion, no, to me it's more important how I do things. Because that's what I realised when it came to the end of my marriage and, and basically being dictated to by social services. I looked at myself and I thought, you're a nothing. You're actually an absolute nothing. You've got a whole system against you. And it does, you're trying to fight against this pathetically huge organisation, and you've become something I didn't even like in myself. In all honesty, I just didn't like the way I was feeling, the way I was sounding. I'd gotten to a point where I just didn't like anything about myself at all. And yeah, I thought about it. I thought, well, yeah, I could block women out of my life and whatever, but I don't see that that's going to make me feel better about myself. So instead what I've done is I've gone out of the real world, out of the offline world, onto the online world, where, as far as I can see, yeah, it's me against them, even Stevens. And I can stand my ground. There is no third party there protecting them. I avoid rooms now where they've got these admins, white knight admins. I don't want that. I want to deal with people one-on-one. I want to feel good about how I conduct myself and how I feel about myself. And yeah, if I don't believe we should block all women, or I should block all women, I don't care what you guys do, but I don't personally believe I should be doing it, then I won't do it. Because I've been there, I've done that. I was told how to live my life. I was led this way, led that way, and by this third party, hidden mass of people telling me how to lead my life. And I became, I don't even know how to describe it, just a mess in the end. A fat, blubbering mess. But now I look at it, and I looked at that little boy yesterday, I thought, no, I just wouldn't tolerate it anymore. I don't care. I'd walk away from my wife or what have you. No, I won't listen to that behaviour anymore. I have no interest. And I feel good about feeling that way. But as I said, I can do it online, and mgtow has been there to sort of almost saying it's okay to be antisocial. All right, that's really what mgtow provides to me. It's sort of legitimising being antisocial. Whether that'll always be the case or not, I don't know, nor do I care. But for me, at this point in my life, yeah, it's actually given legitimacy to something that wouldn't have so otherwise. So that's given me a time out, if you will, and to actually get my act together and to decide what it is that I want. Not what anybody else wants, but no, what I want. And what I want, more than anything else, is to feel good about my dealings with people and my attitude about things. And not being a pushover or pushed over or bullied into things. Yeah, I don't mind getting bullied. That doesn't bother me. What bothers me is when I succumb to bullying. And I'm not going to do that. So, I don't know. For me, at least, that's what's important, is how I do things, not what I actually do. And I think it's just, I'm throwing that out there as just as a thought, something to consider, as what do you think is important? You know, how you do things, or what you actually do. There are two different ways of looking at it. Yeah, and eventually, I imagine, you get to, getting them both right. But for me, I can't do two things at the same time. I've got to, first I'll do this, then okay, we'll get to what I actually do. But yeah, for me, the first step was to how I do things. How do I feel about myself? Can I be resolute? Can I, for example, if I didn't want women in my life at all, no, that's it. I'm not having women in my life, right? No question about it. Don't care what you say. Anybody, no, don't care. You can try and shame me into it. I don't want them in, any of them, none. Okay, that's an attitude. Can you see what I'm saying? That's how I'm doing it. It's not so important as what I'm doing. Or another person might say, no, I want 3 women in my life. That's it. 3. Another guy. 3 or 4. Don't care. No, I don't care. You tell me I should only have 1. I want 3 or 4. That's what I'm having. Can you see what I'm saying? That's yeah, and that resolute, yeah, you do whatever you want. This is what I'm doing. That sort of, that inner strength, that ability to stand there and despite what everybody else says, everybody's sort of, oh, you should be doing this, you should be doing that, you should be doing that, fuck off. Yeah, I've been there, done that, I don't want that, I had a whole life of it. Oh, you should do this, oh, you should go this way, yeah. And you just become this, if you listen to it, you just become this weedy, insipid sort of person. No, stand your ground. That's how I see it. Alright? I don't care, look, people who say I should go this way, they could well be right. Don't know. But no, I've stand back. What I've taken out of all of this is I'll decide what I want to do, and I feel good about doing it. And I'll stand here and defend what I do if I have to until I get bored with it. But that's how I'm seeing it. I just thought I'd share that idea with you. It's just a slightly different way of looking at your time in mgtow. Okay, good talking to you, and I'll talk to you later.